All right, welcome to Friday and a little bourbon drinking in our office. The reason why I say this is because we don't really have a name for the show. Although, here's what we're going to do. We are going to do a survey. We've come up with a couple of sort of unique names.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to send that out, and obviously there'll be a D, which is, give us your thoughts on that. So we'll come up with that sometime over the next several weeks. But this is just our time on Friday afternoon where we grab a bourbon and taste it and give you our opinion on it. And today's Eagle Rare. And so I've actually had this pretty good. I actually have a couple bottles of this at home myself. And so this is the 10-year, right, Chris?
This is the 10-year, the regular one.
Yeah, this is a 10-year. They have, you said a 17-year and a 20-year?
Yeah, there's 17, and then there's the I can't remember exactly what it's called. It's 20-year. I found it online the other night, totally on accident. I was looking for something different.
That's one's got the eagle embossed on the glass, right?
Well, no, it's actually a crystal eagle on the inside of it and on the top. And granted, this is not retail, but the place I found it online, it was $19,000 a bottle. So, of course, I immediately ordered two because, it's crazy. It's so expensive.
Yeah, there's no need for that. No need at all. But anyway, so it's Eagle Rare. So this is in we've done a couple of these,
okay,
right?
so
just tell them where it comes from.
I don't know, a couple of months ago, we said we should go through and do all the allocated stuff from Buffalo Trace because it's so popular.
Explain what
people go
allocated
wait in
means.
line.
Some people have no idea what you're talking about.
So here's what that means. They have several different bourbons at Buffalo Trace that you can go in and get them when they're available, but there's a certain amount of them that they'll ship out.
Right.
So they've got regular Buffalo Trace. You can buy that every single day up there, but you're only allowed to buy one per person.
And when you say up there, what do you mean?
At the Buffalo Trace gift shop, in Frankfurt, which, by the way, super cool tour, very difficult to get in. But Buffalo Trace, that one is available one per person per day. And then the other ones would be Sazerac Rye, which we did a couple of months ago. You buy that, you're not allowed to buy it again in the gift shop for 3 months. Eagle Rare, which we're going to do now, same thing. And you're buying these at retail when you go there, by the way, not at that big marked up price that you're seeing. There's also Weller Special Reserve, that's the green label. Then there is the E.H. Taylor Small Batch, which we'll be doing that one next time, I believe. And then there's also Blanton's, and it's the original silver Blanton's. There's multiple in that line people don't even realize. So any of those except for the Buffalo Trace, you buy it, you're only allowed to get it every 3 months.
And the reason they do that, just for clarity, the reason they do that is because you can go out and find this in a retail, no problem. I shouldn't say no problem.
Yeah.
It's a little difficult to find, but you can find it. And you walk in, they may have 1 or 2 bottles of it, and that's about it. Yeah. So they don't have like 50 bottles of it.
I found a place not too far from our office just a few weeks ago. He probably had 50 bottles. But he also wanted $100 a piece for them. The retail on this, I think, is $35.
Yeah.
He wanted $100 a piece, and it was limit 1.
And I remember when it was 29.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Which actually, I mean, that kind of leads into, I've been drinking Eagle Rare for years. It's always been one of those go-to bourbons. And Eric and I were actually talking about this before we got everything set up today. I was always told that Eagle Rare was the poor man's Blanton's, right? And Eric said, no, he was told that it was the poor man's Pappy, right? Okay, Blanton's is a highly desirable one. Pappy is like the unicorn. Actually, we were both taught wrong. Buffalo Trace does not reveal what their mash bills are, but there's enough evidence out there to show which ones come out of which. Eagle Rare is mash bill 1. Blanton's is mash bill 2. Pappy is the wheated mash bill. So they come out of different mash bills. The flavors are different. It's that simple. Yeah. But we are going to do, I think we're going to do the Weller on the next one that we're recording later, and that one is the same mash bill as Pappy, so we'll come back to that.
Yeah, the interesting thing is we're sitting here talking about it's the poor man's version of something, but yeah, it's $100.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Well, I don't know how we refer to it as
used to be, yeah. I mean, I will say it is more difficult to find. Usually when they do have them out, if they're selling them at more of the retail price, and the retail price, even the ones that I've seen, are a little higher than that. It's 1 per.
It's always a limit 1
per.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. All right, so let's try it.
Yep.
Tell me what you think.
And I like I said, I drank this stuff many times, but I haven't had it in a couple of years.
Actually, I went to have dinner I can't remember exactly where it was, although I think I remember. But anyway, and I actually had this on my birthday. They were just like, hey, I said, like, just bring me something, and I don't really care what it is, but I don't want to, I don't want there's a Woodford whatever that's like $300 a pour.
Oh, the Baccarat.
I was like, I don't want that.
I'm positive you're paying for that crystal decanter
That's
that
what
comes
counts.
in.
That's exactly right.
Sure. But the interesting thing is, I was like, hey, just bring me something unique. I don't really care. Just nothing. A little bit unique. And so they brought me this. It's actually pretty good. I mean,
It's very
then
good,
it was
yeah.
pretty good. And I was like, hey, I haven't had it. So I went out and bought it. I found a bottle of it, went out and bought it. What do you guys think?
I like it.
Oh, I love this
I've
stuff.
always liked it.
What's the proof on this?
That's what I was just looking at. It is 45%, so 90 proof.
Okay.
So it's not super hot.
It is not at all.
No.
It's got a nice, pleasant burn in the middle, but it's very smooth.
Smooth, yeah.
To me, it tastes like a lot of vanilla, which I like. I think
Yeah,
that's,
it's got it's sweet.
it does. Yeah,
It's
it
got a
does
little
have
bit
a
of a sweet taste to it.
It's. I know it's high in the corn. That's where the sweet's coming from. If I had a complaint about Eagle Rare, other than it's become way too expensive. It doesn't have a lot of complexity in the flavor. It's vanilla, and
Yeah,
that's
no, it's
pretty much
sweet.
it, which I like.
Yeah. And to me, it's got a little burn to it, so it's not.
Just a little bit.
Just a
It's
little
not
bit.
like it's not like it's it's tearing me up or anything. But it's pretty. I mean, it's I like it. I'm actually cooling it off now, so I've had it neat. I've actually when I had it back on my birthday last year, I actually drank about half of it neat, and then I poured the rest over. They give you a big block at this restaurant.
Yeah.
And so I poured it over there, over the block, and just drank the rest of it. And actually, I wound up getting a second drink and poured it over same ice.
And I will tell you, I mean, this is already so smooth. Putting the
Yeah.
water in it is going
It's-
to have a little bit of a watered down effect.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that it brings it out. I've always just drank Eagle Rare straight.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know that. I don't remember it getting too watered down and like losing its flavor. Although,
The blocks don't. That's why I usually drink either the blocks or the spheres.
Yeah.
And they don't
Cool it off,
Yeah,
but they don't
cool
water
it
it
but
down.
yeah, like a
Yeah.
cube like this, you're gonna taste a little more of that water because it's gonna
it's
dissolve
gonna melt pretty
quick.
quickly. Yeah. I will say that now that I put a cube in there a minute ago, it is losing whatever I just tried to say.
Right.
It is losing some of its flavor.
Right.
I would say it's not changing the flavor at all. It's just less of it.
Yeah.
I would much rather drink this neat. If it tasted like this straight out of the bottle, it's something that I would not buy.
Yeah, this is one that I don't remember. When I had this, I don't remember it being so watered. Like it was, like to me, it's kind of lost its flavoring now.
Yeah.
And again, as you guys know, I like my bourbon neat, but to me, this has lost some of its flavoring. So this is one that I wouldn't put ice in there. Now I don't typically drink it that way, but even if I were somewhere and there was plenty of ice or whatever, I probably would pass on it, just because I was drinking this. There are other bourbons where I would have to put ice in there to drink it, because I just can't drink it when it's neat.
I would tell you neat, and we've had this discussion.
Yeah.
I do prefer a block of ice. Neat, this is a great bourbon. I will definitely buy it again. I'm just not paying $100+ a bottle for it.
Yep.
But I will never put ice in that again because it almost ruins it. It's just, it doesn't open up any new flavors. It just waters it down.
Yeah, so so we actually talk about, we've mentioned this a couple times, and we have a Miss Producer over there that is not, has not had that much.
She's not doing the shimmy shake.
No, and I saw her just put a piece of ice in there.
I
So
like the ice.
you don't want the ice in there?
I liked it before.
Oh yeah, okay.
Wow.
So she likes it neat. Wow, it's amazing. However, if you have someone that is not a fan of like a really hard bourbon flavor, you know what I mean? This is a good one to give them, to sort of as an intro into bourbon, because it's not that overwhelming. You put a little piece of ice in there, chill it down. It's not bad at all.
Yeah.
So if you're just getting into the bourbon, or you have a spouse or something that's that you kind of want to start to get into it, this is a really good one to use, only because it's not that overwhelming.
But at the same time, it's old enough. Regular Eagle Rare is 10 years old. It's got flavor in it.
Oh, it
Yeah,
does.
So
For sure.
many of the younger ones that you see getting pushed out today at $50 and $60 a bottle,
Yeah.
they're just too young. They don't have that much flavor to them. All you get is burn. And
Yeah.
I don't want
Well,
that. I want something that's got flavor to it.
There's a reason this thing went from 29 to
Yeah.
now priced at $100.
Right.
And you can't find it, or if you can find it, it's $1 per. So
Yep.
Because it
you
is
know,
good.
Yeah, it's great.
Without question.
Yeah.
I think, me personally, I think 10 to 12 years is usually kind of the sweet spot for lots of good flavor. If you see stuff that's a lot older than that, it has a tendency to be very expensive, and all you can taste is oak. That's all you get is the taste of that barrel itself. So that's the reason I think this one is so popular.
Yeah, no, I like this one. It's pretty good. All right, let's rate it, and we'll see where we go from here. What do you think?
This has always been one of my favorite ones, so it's going to go with this one's going to go with a 8.5 for me.
8.5. Wow,
Way up there.
That's
All
pretty
right.
strong. Yeah, that's pretty strong. Yeah, so I actually like this one too. It is not my go-to. You guys know what my go-to is, the Bullet 10-year. But I like it, and I like it because if I just wanted to go home, like tonight, my girlfriend has not had the very best day in the world today, so she's been texting me. And so she's like, well, I need a drink. I'm like, okay, perfect. So this is one that she's not a huge bourbon person, but I've got this at home, so this may be sort of, hey, go home, and because this one she could drink no problem, because it's not that strong, right?
Right.
And so,
Well, and we've got a testament behind the camera.
Yeah.
Somebody who's not been a bourbon drinker at
That's
all
right.
until recently, and she likes it neat. So.
Yep. So I'm going to say, on that scale alone, that this is one of those that I could give somebody that's not a big bourbon fan, and they don't have to water it down with like a Coke or a Sprite or something like that. No, it's not one you want to mix with a Coke, by the way.
No.
I'm gonna say 8. I like 8. 8's good, solid. It's right up there.
I'm going to go 7 neat. But with ice in it, this is like a 5. It really takes a lot away from it. And I'm saying it's a 7 at retail price. Some of the prices that they're charging out there, I love it, but it's not that good. If I'm going to spend that much money,
Yeah.
there's better stuff.
Yeah, I would totally agree. There are other bourbons that have just as much flavor, if not more flavor, and don't have as much bite, and they're $60 as opposed to $100.
Right.
You know.
Well, the key is to try to find it where you're not paying $100 for
That's
it.
true.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
That's
that's
the
true.
key. So.
All right, any final thoughts on Eagle Rare? That's it. Miss Producer's going to wind up putting a picture of the bottle in post-production, so you'll get to see it. But any final thoughts on it?
There's a reason, Aaron had it right, there's a reason this went from around $30 to $100 a bottle and you can't find it. It is genuinely good, and it's good to a lot of people. It's like, the really, really high proof stuff. Some people like myself really like that. Other people like you guys don't care for it.
Yep.
This one appeals to everybody.
Yeah,
So
it's really good. Yeah.
that's what I would say makes this one great, is that pretty much everybody, if you like bourbon, you're going to love this.
Yeah, I agree. It's good. It's good. All right, so next week we are doing the
Weller's Special Reserve, which is the
Weller's.
green label.
Yep.
We'll talk about those next week, but that one is also in the allocated series, and I would argue it is maybe the best one in the series.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I've had it. So, all right. So that's it for another week. Make sure you tune in next week to catch Weller Reserve, right? And last week was, can't remember what we did last week.
Oh, we did the Barrel New Year's last year, or last week. I'm sorry.
Yeah. But anyway, long story. If you go back and go to our website, you can catch all of our podcasts. We've done maybe 50 or so now, something like that. Anyway, and again, it's Friday here, so we're having a little cocktail in the afternoon, and we do a little bourbon review. And if you ever want to stop by and have a bourbon with us, come on Friday afternoon. You can stop in. There's probably, I don't know, usually a couple dozen bottles of bourbon here. And Chris actually made his own bourbon this past week or so, maybe 2 weeks ago.
It's called an infinity bottle, and
Yeah.
I think maybe we'll do an infinity bottle podcast sometime to kind of teach people what that is.
Yeah,
So
it's pretty cool.
We're
So
working on one of those here in the office.
Yep, so make sure you tune in for that. That'll be a couple weeks down the road. Anyway, so tune in every week where we will always be tasting a fresh bourbon on Fridays. And we also have another podcast called The Money Puzzle. It comes out weekly. We also have a TV show called The Money Puzzle. It comes on Saturday mornings. All that, the podcast we do plus the TV show all comes out. We usually post that during the week, just kind of throughout the week. But you can catch all that on our website at FWP, and I think most producers are putting it up there. Phone number if you want to call us and give us an idea for the name of the show or bourbon to try is 502-200-5210, and you can talk to Whitney there and tell her any of your thoughts. So anyway.
And I'll do my best, Eric, to add what you're saying.
Go ahead.
Go to YouTube, like and subscribe. I think the button's red. I'm too old to know what all that stuff is. But if you like and subscribe
You're
to
not
it,
that old.
then when we post new stuff, he's older than me, I love it, then you'll automatically get that.
There you go.
Isn't that the way that works?
I have absolutely no idea. But, interesting enough, like nothing funny happened out here. I was actually waiting for something funny to happen, and it was very boring, although it was pouring down rain.
It's raining outside today. I
It was
think
pouring
that's
down rain.
yeah.
Now it's not. But anyway, all right, so that's it for another week. Make sure you tune in and watch us every week. And, hey, here's to another good weekend.